Welcome once again to your weekly update from the city of New Hope. Let's chat with the Mayor, Kathi Hemken, to find out what's new and upcoming in the city. Welcome, Mayor Hemken. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Dave. I've still got that picture of snow behind me, but it's going fast.
It is, and we'll talk a little bit about snow a little later, an opportunity maybe to compete in a fun competition, but you're going to have to catch the snow if you could do that. But we want to begin on a serious note with all that has happened recently here in the metro area down in Burnsville. Mayor, you just wanted to make a quick mention of support that the city has and the council has for those that protect the city.
The city council and I, as well as our city staff, really want our firefighters and our police officers to know that we totally appreciate them and support them, and we really are aware of all that they do to keep our residents safe. So thank you very much to that group. This is a real hard time for them.
It certainly is. Next item we want to touch on our update this week is the elections. They've been going on absentee-wise, but I understand part of the process here is a little testing that has to go, and it was successful.
On Valentine's Day, on the 14th, they did a public testing of the machines, and they worked just fine, thank you. So now that you can actually put your ballot into the machine. So if you vote now between the 5th of March, you can go to City Hall to vote, and you fill out your ballot and put it into the machine. After that, on the 5th, you'll have to go to your polling place if you want to vote. And this is a presidential primary, so you'll have to declare what party you want the ballot for, and then you'll vote for a candidate of that party that would then be on the ballot.
Very good. More information on that, New Hope's website, newhopemn.gov. Now to scatter site housing, we have two properties to update residents on. The first is at the corner of 42nd and Boon, and house number 1 is looking about ready to go.
This is the south house. So they've got the siding on, there's a couple little pieces, and they're going to put the stone veneer on, I think this week. And after that, the house will be finished. But they are starting to plot out the second house, the north lot. And so when that's done, they'll get the proposal ready and send it to builders to get them to bid on whether or not to buy that lot. So it's moving right along.
Second lot to talk about in the city of New Hope on scatter site is 5692 Boone Place North. We've talked a lot about this, and it's still in the builder finding process. Is that correct?
It is. So that's a double lot. It's been split, and we've sent the proposals out to the builders, waiting to get those back. And when they're back, then we'll pick a builder for those. It'll probably be the same builder for both of the lots, but we don't know.
Always exciting to have a ribbon cutting coming up in the city, and we've got one coming up at the beginning of March for a long-awaited opening. Which business is this, Mayor?
Hallelujah. Well, this is the marathon on Bass Lake Road in Winnetka, and they're planning to open the 1st of March. We'll have a ribbon cutting at 9 o'clock. Staff tells me there's still a couple items that they have to complete before they can open. When I stopped in to talk to the owner, they assured me they'd have those things ready. So plan on 9 o'clock at that marathon gas station. Ribbon cuttings are always kind of fun, and it'll be open then, and you can go inside and see what a beautiful job they've done on that.
Something people are looking forward to. Let's go to the police department. A few updates here, and Chief Hoyt has been very busy meeting with different groups. The first is the Multicultural Advisory Committee. Tell us a little bit more about this meeting and who's involved in those regular meetings.
Well, they call that the MAC, and those are high school students from Cooper. And Chief Hoyt meets with them regularly. One of the things they just recently did is they testified at the Capitol about the need for SROs in our schools. The reason they're not there is there's been some legislation passed that makes it not real safe for our police officers to be in there. So until they get that all straightened out, no SROs in the schools.
Chief Hoyt also involved in the Hennepin Chiefs Association. Again, this is another regular meeting to really stay in touch with others in the area. Is that correct?
Well, all of the police chiefs have the same problems. Just more of them are bigger, but they're all the same. So these guys and gals meet regularly just to discuss what to do, what happens. And I know there's a lot of talk going on now about something called check up from the head up. They want to make sure that psychologically our firefighters and our police officers are mentally ready for the job.
And in preparation of that meeting, you said with some of the Cooper students down at the state capitol, the chief met with the superintendent and also some of those students. So a lot of discussion going on within the school district as well about this need.
Yes, the superintendent wants the SROs back too. So we just need to get a few things straightened out. We want to be back in those schools. We think it's important. One of the students said that the SROs always have their back. And then they said, but the law does not. And I thought that was very powerful.
Let's talk about events coming up that involve police and public safety. And one would be the Bike Rodeo. Tell us about this annual favorite that's now in the planning stages.
You know, it seems like that happens in the summer, and here it is February, but it takes a long time. They have to get a lot of funding and things together and where it's going to be. And so they're just starting to plan that now, but it's going to happen this summer.
Perfect lead in. Speaking about funding, there's a group in the city of New Hope called the New Hope Crime Prevention Fund that is set up just for that particular purpose. How does this work and how can people help out?
Well, there's a group of citizens and a couple of the council and I that are on this group. And what we try to do is raise some funds so that we can give money to the bike rodeo, to safety camp. We can support Officer Callio when he goes out and cooks hot dogs for the apartment complexes and the schools. Just a lot of the things that we think the more community development we have, the less crime we have. And so they're trying to get out there. If you want to make a donation to that fund, any size is wonderful. You can just write a tax-deductible check out to Crime Prevention Fund and drop it off at the police station, and it'll get to the right places. But it's really, really a good program, and we support a lot of those things that aren't necessarily in the budget.
Great way for people to help out. Let's go to Public Works. And as we all know, no snow on the street, but there's something on the street that they're trying to take care of right now, and it's a little earlier than normal. What's happening out there?
It's a lot earlier than normal. I think this is pretty innovative. Since they haven't been plowing much, now they've got the street sweeper out there. So we have our own little street sweeper, and what they're trying to do is clean out as many of the grates as they can. We do a city-wide street sweeping that we hire out, but this is trying to get some of that salt, some of that junk picked up so that it doesn't actually get into the lakes.
Let's talk about bridges for just a few moments here as we look at road projects that are coming up. We've got one that we're happy to say completed, but a couple now that are coming up. Give us the bridge and 169 overview, if you would.
When I tell people they can come to New Hope, but they can't get out, I'm very serious about that. So 42nd is almost done. The bridge is done. They've got a few little painting things to do. The spring they'll fix the curbs on the New Hope side that were just blacktop, and they really need to be cement. And the 36th Avenue Bridge, now that'll start as soon as school gets out in mid-June. They're hoping to be done with that by the end of the summer. But I just found out they're now going to do the 63rd Avenue Bridge. Now that doesn't connect New Hope at all. That's Brooklyn Park and Plymouth. But a lot of our northwest suburb or people up there use that, so they need to know that. And there's some maintenance stuff. Now, the city doesn't actually spend any of our money on these bridges, but we have to do a lot of maintenance on our side. So it is costly to us, but it's the one on 63rd won't be. I'm hoping that they've got that entrance ramp off of Bass Lake Road open before they start the bridge on 63rd, because otherwise, honestly, people won't be able to get out of New Hope.
That would be a little bit helpful. So it sounds like we'll keep people up to date throughout the year on that progress and the planning that is going ahead. Let's jump to Park and Rec. A lot happening here as the seasons change, and a sure sign of spring is that the spring dancers started their new classes. What's happening inside the ice arena?
They did. The first thing they do is they invite the parents to come watch one of their practices, and they'll have a dress rehearsal on Mother's Day weekend on Saturday, and then the recitals will be the 18th and 19th of May. They tell me that all of the tickets will have to be bought online now instead of in person, and they'll have that opened up April 21st online to buy tickets. If you've never been to one of these recitals, they are just so cute, so cute.
Yeah, fun time for everyone to attend. Let's talk about the trees, Park and Rec, and their work around the Emerald Ash Borer. What is the latest work they're doing? Where are they concentrating right now?
Now they're west of Boon between 32nd and 49th. And what the forester is doing is spraying a big orange dot on the trees that need to come down. These are only boulevard trees. And so if you have one in your yard, you can call the forester and he'll give you some advice, but we don't take those down. They're also looking at the commercial properties that are on the boulevard, such as Pub 42 and Holiday. There's some trees on the boulevard. So those that are affected will be taken down, and we'll take those down.
Continuing our walk through Park and Rec, let's talk about a couple of the big facilities in town and what's happening there. The first is the golf course. We talk a lot about parties happening at the golf course, Mayor, but here's a neat use of the golf course in off-season, the clubhouse, for some training.
Well, they had something called Teachers for Tomorrow, an all-day training class on Monday, and the parking lot was full. It's so fun to see the parking lot full in February. So they keep pretty busy. When they're not doing that, they're getting all the equipment ready to open. I do know that you can't buy season passes yet. I'll let you know when those are available. They've got to get the forms ready and all that stuff. I did hear that they're going to not have a fall league this year. They're going to extend the normal league a couple weeks into the fall.
Okay.
Apparently not a lot of people sign up for that fall league. So again, I'll keep you informed as much as I can.
Very good. Let's go to the ice arena. A lot happening there, and they're a little bit in transition with the high schools being done. But if you're interested in the younger skaters and watching them go for it, you can still do that, right, Mayor?
Well, the youth hockey is still practicing and playing their games there. I think the youth hockey, those games are more fun than the big kids. So the Adult Hockey Association is also playing their games on Saturday and Sunday nights. But open skating's open on Friday and Sundays, but you need to call just in case something else comes up and they're not open.
Final note in Park and Rec is the Aquatic Park, and they are busy trying to find staff people to help out for the upcoming season. How can people get involved in that?
The first thing they do is they try to call back all the past staff, and then they go out and they start recruiting. So they're recruiting now and they're setting up interviews. If you're interested in working in a really fun, busy place this summer, that's the place to be. So go online, you can apply online, and then they'll set up an interview for you. They're also looking for leadership positions, and so they're just busy getting ready.
Next up is Human Resources, a few positions to update you on that are full-time positions at the city. The first is the Accounting Technician internal posting. Remind us about that process and tell us what happened and what's next.
Well, all postings have to be internal first, and we have to have 2 qualified candidates. Well, our accounting technician is actually taking the job of our city clerk because she's retiring. And so that position needs to be filled. They posted it internally, did not get 2 qualified candidates. So now they're going to post it externally, and it'll be open until the 4th of March to apply. So if you're interested in working at New Hope, that's a good starter position to come to.
Another position is the police clerk recruitment. Again, give us an update if you would on that position.
Well, that one we did post internally, and then we posted externally and didn't get any response. So we're going to repost that. And again, they have until the 4th of March to apply.
All right, we promised we would talk a little bit about the snow, and you see the mayor's picture from a year ago when there was a lot of snow, not too much right now, and it's probably going away, but we still have the contest. So get out there quickly when it snows. Is that the word, Mayor?
Well, if it's snowing, I suggest you put on your boots and your gloves and run outside, because who knows how long it's going to last. So that goes until the end of March. I'm hoping we'll get a little snow, not too much,
Right.
so that they can build a little snow. And it doesn't matter how big or little these snowmen are. A couple of years ago, a snowman won that was just tiny, littler than a pencil.
Mhm.
So you can do tiny ones too, but just name them and then send the picture in to the Park and Rec department, and they'll be judged then.
Another item that residents are seeing in social media and on the city website is the Good Citizenship Award. Remind us of that contest and really what you're looking for as far as recognition.
Well, we know there's a lot of citizens out there that are helping each other. We also know that there's a lot that are doing stuff with the environment. They're doing small programs to be inclusive and show equity. We have Girl Scout leaders, we have Boy Scout leaders. All of these people are really important to the community, and we want to recognize them, but we don't know who they are. So you have to nominate them, and to do that, you can go online or you can go into City Hall, get an application and fill it out. It's very quick to fill out. Just hand it in to us, and we'll recognize them as good citizenship. awards.
Couple final notes to pass along. This little booklet here that you've been using for the past 2, 3, 4 months is about done, but that means another one is coming, Mayor. When will we see something new with, I understand, a new great picture?
It's got an adorable picture on the front. They should be in your mailboxes by the middle of March. If you don't get one at your house for whatever reason, you can call City Hall and ask for one, or you can go into City Hall and get one. This is a really good time to sign up because some of those classes fill very quickly. I'm reminding people this is also a really good time to get a gift certificate for your grandchild, your child. It does help cut down on the cost. We also have a scholarship program. So if you come in with your ID to prove that you're a New Hope citizen or a resident, you can get half price off on some of the programs. So if you need some help, don't let the cost hinder you from at least checking on it.
Couple final notes to pass along. One is the city is always looking for ways to engage with residents, and there's something new being talked about here and planned that's very intriguing. Tell us about this new idea and what people can maybe keep an eye out for.
Well, for years, we've had the police academy where people sign up and they learn all about the police department. Well, our city manager thought it would be a good idea if we had a citizens academy, just so that residents can not only understand the structure of the government in New Hope, know the staff, so that if they have a concern, they'll feel more comfortable going to staff. They'll know who to go to. We want to open the communication lines as much as we can. I've taken a couple of these classes, and they're really, really helpful just to know who's in charge and who to ask for. If you don't ask the right question, you won't get the right person. And this will help you do that. Keep in mind, it's just in the planning stages. I have no idea when this is all going to come together, but I will let you know as soon as we know.
Final note to pass along. We always try to pass along things that maybe the mayor's hearing and being asked throughout the week. And one of those questions you're hearing, I understand, is about farmers market. So what can you tell us about farmers market of the past and maybe something potential for the future, but not this year?
Well, the farmers market when we had a farmers market, was not run by the city. It was run by an independent person. And the city just helped out at the farmers market by giving them the space and providing restrooms. Well, we want to bring that back. We're not sure exactly how, whether we want to go outside and see if we can hire somebody. We don't know that if they should be city staff or not. So it's really in the planning stages, but it will not happen this year. We're pretty sure of that. We're not able to get vendors. They pretty much sign up in January to come. So it'll be at least another year, and I'll keep you informed as we get closer. If you happen to want to do this, call City Hall or call me, and we'll get you in touch with the right people to tell you how this runs.
All those numbers available at the city's website, newhopemn.gov. You can find out more there about ways to connect with people and also about the elections, Park and Rec, and all the things the city has going on. Mayor, thanks once again for your time. Appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Dave. See you then. Bye-bye.
And stick with us. Here's a look at some other things that are coming up very soon right here in the New Hope community. Learn more about the connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.